Welcome back to another episode of Vass Reacts. We got a video from Squigmy. I'ma just say Swig. It's gonna take me a minute to pronounce that. Now I wanna butcher it. We got Eustace invited all of Courage Opps over a blanket. Now I remember this episode. It was the episode where Eustace wanted the blanket and he seen Courage with the blanket Muriel was knitting for him. And he crashed the fuck out. He don't like seeing Courage happy at all. Muriel gave him a blanket. Courage rolling around having a good time. Just so he can invite all his ops over. Hang Muriel over the bucket of, I think it was like a boiling water, clam chowder, some shit like that. And they played dodgeball. I mean, Courage came out on top, unfortunately. Courage came out on top, but Eustace would have got kicked out the house. Eustace, this whole run of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and Courage the Cowardly Dog is not for children. It's not. We was like 5 to 8 watching this, traumatized. The scariest episode to me was the Courage was dreaming. It was the blue shit that said, "You're not perfect. You're not perfect." Some people scared by that King Ramsey episode. I actually like that episode. That's like one of my favorite episodes. Flapjack was scarier than Courage. It had its little scary moments. Goosebumps was. Courage had us terrified at a young age. So let's dive on right into this. Hater.
Someone who dislikes a specified person or thing. And to be honest, there are plenty of examples of this. I mean, you got Toby Rama, who probably
racist
when he refers to Uchiha.
Racist.
Uncle Ruckus, who hate black people so much.
Prime racist.
Probably practices hating when he looks in the mirror every morning. The Reverse Flash, who hated Barry so much he named him.
This nigga just a hater. Reverse Flash is a top tier hater. I wish to get to that level of hate one day, but it's impossible.
The Reverse Flash, because you never thought he was gonna call himself Flash, right? But today, we're focusing on a specific hater. A man who hates
Eustace
someone
bad.
who didn't do anything but be happy and comfortable.
Top tier hater.
One of Stick Meter's long lost friends, if we're being honest. Ladies and gentlemen, today in hater history, I present to you Eustace Bags and the League of Opps.
And I never understood why. I mean, I understand, but at the same time, Courage tried to save both of them every episode. Like, they come after both of them. Courage tries to save them both, but Eustace is the one who wound up getting the short end of the stick and never survived at the end of the episode.
I'm gonna start this by telling you that everything you're about to hear is not because Courage did some shicey stuff to Eustace. To be honest, Courage didn't do anything but be happy and comfortable.
Exactly.
And that was all it took. So we start our story in the middle of nowhere, and Muriel is sitting in the living room knitting a new blanket. Now, I can't lie to you. Eustace's blanket was raggedy.
Look like shit, like a itchy quilt.
Like, have you thrown it into the washing machine ever, sir? Why is it turning black? So after Muriel finishes knitting the blanket, she puts it on the ground, and Courage starts to roll around smiling on the blanket. And this is enough to piss Eustace off, because Courage got to lay around on that blanket, and Eustace is still sitting there holding that musty one. But I mean, Eustace low-key got the best seat in the house, if we being honest. That thing looked like it has memory foam cushions, and you mad.
Motherfucker got a recliner, some memory foam, a little cup holder, but he mad that Courage happy over a blanket. Be real.
And because Courage got a blanket. Your wife in a rocking chair with no seat cushions, probably gonna have back problems, and you complaining.
Exactly.
So while he's watching Courage lay around on that blanket, smiling and happy and having a good time, Eustace gets up and goes and grabs the phone to call the operator. And do you know what Eustace does? This man
Nah, I remember when he used to pick up the phone, call the operator, he was like, "Operator? Oh, y'all."
All of Courage's greatest ops to plan the greatest get back on Courage over a goddamn blanket. All the dog did was get a blanket so that he didn't have to sleep on the cold wooden floor, and Eustace hated seeing that dog happy to the point that he called the man's ops. And mind you, most of these people he called tried to take Eustace off the map. I mean, let's just go down the line here. The cat tried to feed him to his man-eating spiders in his sleep.
I ain't gonna lie, Cats was that nigga though. Cats was that nigga. My favorite villain was I Like the Ducks, Cats. I like the Toe Mafia. I like the little hunchback with the big nose. He wasn't really a villain, but he was just fucked up in certain ways. Yeah.
wrapped up in a cocoon like a pig in a
But
blanket.
Cats
The
was that
werewolf
nigga. I used to
turned your
love
wife
Cats.
into a demon werewolf.
Okay, I remember that.
And sent her to try to kill you in the bathtub. This goddamn siren took you to her underwater lair, thinking you was about to clap some cheeks.
But
and
she
the
was
whole
gonna turn
time,
you
was
inside
about
out,
to
boy.
get your cheeks clapped by this demon siren. The fox tried to turn your wife into grandma stew and eat her. But I mean, just look at his eyes under the shades. You caught the right one, because he sure look crazy. And let's not forget
the
the
toe mafia.
goddamn toe fungus mafia over here that turns you into
You're like,
a
"Nah,
foot
yeah,
and
nah."
turn your life into a life of crime. But I mean, they did try to kick Florida off the map, and that's why I'm kind of rocking with them. But this is how I knew that Eustace was a supreme D1 hater, because he came up with a plan to take out Courage. And the plan involved kidnapping his wife, holding her hostage over a boiling pot, the same boiling pot that the
Cajun
fox
granny
tried to
stew.
put her in and eat her with, and lure Courage down there so they can jump him.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
And this is when I knew Eustace didn't care, because he was about to sacrifice his wife just to take out the goddamn dog that was rolling on a blanket. Bruh, he hung her up with chains, surrounded by villains that tried to kill him just because the dog was happy on a
as shit.
blanket.
Yep.
So they get Courage down there and they immediately surround him, ready to jump him. And the way that they plan on jumping him is with 5-on-1 dodgeball. But in this game, if Courage gets hit, he is out. He just finna get jumped. And when the game starts, Cat throws the ball, and I kid you not, the ball turns into a spiked dodgeball.
That's fucking cheating. Yeah, that was
And
automatically
this is one
cheating.
of the few times that they use a ball in this whole game, because they just sitting there throwing anything they can get their hands on. Hell, the werehog comes out of the ground and tries to eat the dang dog and skip the ball throwing altogether. In the middle of this, they had the nerve to have a goddamn halftime show in the middle of Courage being absolutely beaten to death. So remember how I told y'all that there were a few times that they threw a ball at Courage? Well, right after halftime, these motherfuckers loaded up a cannon and shot him in the mouth with a cannonball, which honestly should have killed him. And that should have been the end of the game, but the writers had to keep him up, because right after they hit him in the mouth with a cannonball, I kid you not, y'all, they threw a piano at him. They hit the dog with a full-on piano. And just let me remind you, all of this is because Eustace was
Over
mad at
a
Courage
blanket.
over a goddamn blanket. I have never seen Courage more spent in my life. They was turning that man every way except loose. So they gang up around him and get ready to hit him with weapons of mass destruction. They got flamethrowers and hatchets. Shawty over here got a nuke in a shell. I don't know where she got the goddamn nuke from, but ultimately, Courage ends up sending them all to the depths of hell by yelling so loud that he opens up a hole in the basement. And this was the end of the League of Opps. So when we cut back to the house, Courage done stole Eustace's chair, and to be honest, Eustace should have got put out, because all this over a blanket? You strung your wife up, jumped a dog, dang near blew up the house with the girl in the nuke, called up all of your greatest ops, who, mind you, was also trying to kill you too. Muriel, I'm gonna keep it real with you, honey. This is grounds for a divorce. But anyway, subscribe if you're new. Watch one of these videos next. And until next time, stay sweet.
Yeah. Muriel should have been divorced his ass. Eustace caused so much shit, all because the hate for Courage is fucking insane. You gathered your greatest ops that hated you, your wife, and the dog that you hate, just to take care of the dog that you hate over a blanket, bro. And you got the best seat in the house. Eustace, you're a fucking op. I could never stand him. I still can't stand him. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. This has been Swig. I'm going to say Swig because I can't. I think it's Swig me? Swig. I don't know. And we're going to wrap this up. This has been Vass. React, like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.